I definitely, I definitely go off, and I got to practice on it. I want to get better. I want to speak. I want to try and use him as inspiration and do better. But I think I understand that that's not my, it's not my talent. But maybe God will do that someday. God can make miracles, right? This video is making me laugh because I was like, man, I'm not a Martin Luther King at all, and I'm going to talk about Martin Luther King, and I've made videos, but hey, God can make miracles, and it kind of goes back to this. It kind of fits in because this situation seems impossible sometimes. It's like people aren't listening. Things are going along slowly. We are getting positive things slowly, but it just seems like a very dark situation. It seems like there's way more power on the other side. God can create miracles in that, just as He can create miracles in me or you. Things that we don't think we're good at. He can do incredible things if we ask Him. So, I ask Him that, and I pray for that. I pray for that for all of us, to give us, because we're getting microwaved. Like, our brain is getting microwaved. If y'all saw the video about the articles about the brain injuries in the Cuban embassy workers, I mean, it damages pathways in our brains. It does give us brain injuries. And I've been attacked with this stuff, probably about 18 years that I can look back at. About 8 years of like really, really bad attacks where I knew I was being attacked, microwaves to the head. It doesn't do a lot to make you a better speaker. It doesn't do a lot towards that. But God can bring us miracles. We can look at the civil rights movement. We can look at that one special man, and there were tons of people who worked for civil rights during that time. So Martin Luther King wasn't the only one. He's kind of the one that comes to mind when we think of that, because he was a badass. He was a badass. But I lost my thought. I just lost my thought, guys. But God can create miracles. He can give us the right words, even if we don't. Even if we think we're stumbling through it, or we're not speaking as eloquently as we could or want to. God can still take that kind of fumbling thing that we do and touch somebody's heart. So really, really trust in that, and we've got to trust some of these good people out there. We've got to take risks. We cannot be like the whole system is just corrupt. There are lots of good people out there, and I know a lot of people feel like their hands are tied, like not target individuals, but normal people. They feel like they don't want their families to get hurt. It's a fear-based society. This program is fear-based. I know a lot of people are scared, but that is changing. People are going to fight. Good people are going to fight, and sometimes we're going to have to take a risk. With good people, and it may fail. It may fail sometimes. They may not help us out. We're gonna have to take risks, and we can't just be like, well, I'm not trusting anybody in that, practice, like psychiatry, or I'm not trusting anybody in the medical industry. It keeps us safe, but we don't get that help we need. So sometimes we do need to take risks there. I was thinking today that, like, a good thing that the medical community could eventually do, when this is out, when this comes out, and I want to think that. I want to think that way. I want to think, like, when people know about this and they know that there's people like us out there, a good thing that a lot of doctors could do, and I don't know how this can happen. This is just kind of a beginning thought, but they could say, if there's anybody out there who's a target individual, please come into us. We will treat you physically. We'll see whatever we can do to make you feel as good as possible, and do testing on you, so we can get that kind of evidence. And I think a time will come when things like that happens, and we'll have to pursue a lot of those things ourselves. Kind of getting off a topic, but I just want to honor Dr. Martin Luther King tonight. He gives us a great archetype. The protests that have been done for target individuals, they haven't been as big. Hopefully soon. Because like with the Unity and Hope Conference and things like that. I'm sorry, I have to rub my nose. Anytime I do anything like that, guys, I'm literally just, my face itches or something like that. I'm not doing any kind of, gang stalking or perping. I just want you to know that. But my face I have a lot of itches. I have a big nose, as y'all can see. It's a cute nose. But it's just that. Like if I scratch my face or something, it's no signals or anything like that. But I guess that's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to say, let's remember him. Also, some interesting tidbit. One of my favorite fantasy characters is based on Martin Luther King. Professor Charles Xavier, Professor X of the X-Men. He would have never existed. Oh wow, did I just do that? Stan Lee. Wow, I think I need to go flog myself for saying Sam Lee, because I'm a huge comic book fan. Stan Lee would have never created Magneto and Charles Xavier if Dr. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X didn't exist in real life, because those characters came from him. So I know Professor X isn't a real character, he is a fantasy character, but I mean, that's given me, since I was a little boy, I read X-Men about the peaceful coexistence between beings, like human beings and somebody they thought was different. So the things that Martin Luther King did went way beyond even just making the civil rights movement a success. Now, I do know that, after the I Have a Dream speech, the FBI, COINTELPRO, basically sent him letters saying, kill yourself, or we're going to release, because he had some improprieties in his marriage, and nobody's perfect. I don't think he claimed to be this, perfect man. He's perfect in a lot of ways in the way he spoke, but he was a human being. And then COINTELPRO, went after him, and then they eventually assassinated him. We look at JFK, we look at him, we look at Robert Kennedy, we look at, there's more that I'm forgetting, more civil rights leaders, Malcolm X. And that, unfortunately, we've seen good men stand up and be punished for being so good, for wanting to do something that changes society so much, and really screws things up for men who are making money off of those horrible things, or or they want those bad things in place because it just helps their life somehow, helps them maintain control and fear, and get more money and do more, create more of their agendas. So that's a very, very sad thing. But when I'm sure when we look back on his life, it was just magnanimous, and he saved so many more lives. He got African Americans further ahead, than anyone. I guess, except maybe Abraham Lincoln. But at the time, more than anybody, he helped them. So his life was a success, even if evil people wanted to get in there and try and try and do their thing, try and do their, well, if we kill you, we win. They never win. They never win. He won. The things that he did carried on after his death have carried on into things that we read all the time, relations between African Americans and white people, and people of all colors and creeds, Mexican, Chinese, I just say Asian, Hispanic, Indian. Just it flows into everything. So his life, and taking that on and doing it with God in his heart, created so many great changes in the world. And I know this, I have faith in this, that he's looking down on us, and he's giving us a little boost. Dr. Martin Luther King is looking down on us today as target individuals, and he's saying, if you have a dream, he's trying to put a dream in his heart. He had a dream, and it came true. They got a little bit further. To equality between blacks and whites and other races. And that was his dream. And so he's looking down on us, and he's giving us a little bit of a boost. And I'm sure he's proud of all the work that Target individuals are doing to save lives and save each other and get this truth out to people. It's a little bit more than our rights being taken away. It's our lives being taken away. It's our rights and our lives being taken away. And it's all colors and creeds that are Target individuals. So it makes it more important that it's all of us. It's all of us at stake. It's not just one race. So I mean, take that as you will. It's very important because of that. But all right, guys. I just wanted to honor Dr. Martin Luther King today. I think I'm gonna watch the "I Have a Dream" speech in the "I've Been to the Mountain" because sometimes I can picture it so clearly. Like I can picture us being free, and these people having to stop. They have to stop because too much of the public knows. It's too out there. We would get help by doctors and stuff like that, and the doctors would be wanting to do tests on us so we could get that to lawyers. Lawyers would see big money in this, and I see that. I see where they can't get away with it, and the people who have done this, we're going after them. We're trying to put them in jail, and I do picture it sometimes, and it's very clear. As clear as the remote neural manipulation will let me think at the time. That was a bad joke. But all right, guys, we've got to fight for our dream, and I think every Target individual's dream is, being free again, not being murdered, being able to do whatever we want with our lives. I can't imagine, how much further we could go in our lives. I can picture it so clearly sometimes, but I can't imagine how good it would feel. I can picture being free and doing what I want to do, writing my book, and having a career, a family, so clearly. But I can't even imagine how much further my life would go because, going through this, if you live a life without this, whoa, man, it's hard to even imagine what you could accomplish, every day with just your interactions with people, being so happy about just not being tortured. But anyway, I'm digressing. So happy Martin Luther King's Day, everybody. Let's let this give us some inspiration. We're moving forward fast. The Senate investigation, they're really looking into things. Like a lot of senators are really looking into a lot of things. Marco Rubio, he's talked to John Hall and investigated this stuff further. He said that it could be sonic weapons, it could be microwaves. He was saying it doesn't really matter. They just need to figure out what it is. Another expert who looked at the brain, the actual brain injuries of the State Department workers, did say that only microwaves could do that. Only microwaves could damage the white matter tracks. Now, they didn't give the name of the expert, and I'll go through those articles too. But today, I just wanted to stop and say Happy Martin Luther King's Day, Martin Luther King Day. Let's honor the man. Let's honor the man. Let's honor what he did. He did things that just surpassed even his life. The things that went further. And let's hope and let's have faith. That we as TIs, that we can do the same. We can do the same with this terrible situation. Make it a thing that people can hope. Fighting the darkness sometimes creates a lot of light, and he did that. So let's just do that today, guys, and pray to God for strength and miracles. He is here. Sometimes it seems like, whoa, where's God? When is he gonna come in on here? But he does work through us, and he does have a plan. So I've got to have more faith in that. And I love you guys. And I will definitely see you on the next one. All right. Happy Martin Luther King's Day. Let's remember a great man who made so many changes and gave us, Target individuals, an archetype and a lot of hope. Because look what he did. Look what he did with what other people would have been like, no way. This is something everybody accepts, can't change. And he changed it. Changed it with a whole lot of other people, helping him because of his words, because of his heart, because he never gave up. All right, guys. I will see you on the next one. God is behind us. Happy Martin Luther King Day, guys. Happy Martin Luther King Day, guys.